Well, good morning. Out here in the shop, getting the day started. I'm going to make a quick video addressing the right-wing conservatives out there, whatever that means. Conservative people that believe in righteous causes and don't believe in murdering babies and things like that, abortion in other words. People that have common sense. And I keep seeing this thing of we need to de-escalate. The liberal left does some atrocious thing, celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk, all this different stuff. And it's this thing of we can't let this divide us. We have to become one as a nation again. I want you to think about something, if that's your mindset. At what point in time is America going to somehow magically be reunited? But we can't let this stuff divide us. Hey there, Brainiac, we already are divided as a nation. When you have left-wing people burning down cities and burning police cars and attacking police and attacking people because they're white or whatever, and coming out and saying on national television that white Christian men are the problem in this nation, I think we're past the point of being able to talk our way out of that, okay? And again, I realize that the Civil War issue and whatever else, I did a video on that saying it's not really possible the way that it was done the first time, and it's not. But what has to happen is we have to have a change of our minds and say, okay, the nice tolerance and we're trying to be kind to other people and accept other people for their beliefs, and that has to go away. There can be no more tolerance for the liberal left. The liberal left, again, think about this. Right-wing conservatives, are they trying to make the nation better or worse? Better, okay? Why? Go back to our founding principles. Go back to the way it was back when America was a much greater nation. That's what we need. Left-wing people, are they trying to make America better or worse? They're trying to destroy America. How then do we make a peaceful coexistence happen? We can't. I mean, what is the event that's going to happen that would all of a sudden make everybody get along? There will be nothing. There isn't anything that can work like that. I just get really sick and tired of this. I see these conservative guys and they say, I was really mad about this situation. I was mad about how people were making fun of, Charlie Kirk's death and whatever else. And I just get angry. And then they go, let's just de-escalate. But we can't let this divide us as a nation. Like I said, it's too late for that. The nation's already divided. But let's just think about this. What would happen if there was a civil war? Or some kind of a thing where a new political system rose to power and said, we're done with this liberal left stuff. We're going to preserve this nation. A third party or whatever else, the America First Party or something, as some have suggested. And they say, we want good industry, we want good jobs, we want to be a powerful nation again, but we're going to have to reset and get rid of this liberal left ideology. We're going to have to make it illegal in this country because it's a subversive, treasonous movement. What would occur? Well, there's going to be a war, there'd be burnings, they'd burn their cities down again. They like to burn their own neighborhoods, Really thinking that one out. Let's go burn our local grocery stores and all of our infrastructure and destroy police cars, and then when crime gets really bad, then we call the police and they can't come. Brilliant, really smart. These people are just really intelligent. But, okay, that's going to happen. In 20 years from now, after infrastructure has been rebuilt and whatever else, and there's now, people actually study the Bible in schools now from an open, objective mindset. We don't teach that people evolved from, goo and whatever else. You can study that if you want to, but there's no forced system there to mind control children in the schools. And, go down through. We have industry comes back. We have people have more money. We don't have the Federal Reserve notes anymore. We have some kind of a new financial system. Let's really go with the fantasy there. Just to try to prove a point here. What would it be like in 20 years? Would it be our country's conquered? No. It would actually be our country would be stronger. And I'll say it this way. What would happen if, we'll say China, the boogeyman China, communist China, they're financing this left-wing movement right now. Okay, let's just go with that. And they want to divide us as a nation. Well, what would happen if it worked? What would happen if conservative people stood up and said, enough is enough. Military veterans, police officers, patriots, let's all join together and let's get rid of the liberal left contagion. Let's get rid of this whole thing. Oh, boy, there'd be a lot of fighting, a lot of death, and a lot of other bad things and whatever. But wouldn't it make America stronger? I mean, if it had happened 30 years ago, would we be a stronger nation today or a weaker nation? We'd be stronger. I mean, it's insane to me. And again, I've seen this thing. You'll see police videos sometimes, and and the police officers, they get to the scene of the crime. They're trying to, and if they see a violent situation, they try to de-escalate. They don't just pull the gun out and start, hammering some guy because he's running around naked with a knife or something like that. They try to say, put the knife down, get your hands in the air. They try to de-escalate. But I've seen some officers in some situations where they try to de-escalate too far and they let the guy get too close and then they get stabbed or they get some other bad thing happening. You have to understand that there's a point in time where you can't de-escalate the situation anymore and you have to take action. All right. America has a very serious problem right now with the liberal left. And you can't just continue to magically de-escalate and, we don't want to have division. We can't have division. There is a problem. When you have a guy being shot and, it was Tyler Robinson. He was his parents supported Trump or something. Tyler Robinson was not the shooter of Charlie Kirk. That is so stupid. It's so ridiculous. This doctored video that the FBI put out, they show people upstairs and then you can see out the windows and see the crowd. And then you see this guy running, across, it's supposed to be Tyler Robinson running across the roof line. If you haven't seen the video, you can look this up. And as he's running, the people duck because they hear the sound of the shot. Okay. How is it that he's running to escape before the shot's even fired? And then the angle of the shot and all this other stuff, people are analyzing this thing and saying, no. And the FBI's just, nothing to see here. Come on, let's move on to the next story. Come on, look, church, you're shooting and burning thing there with Michigan, this crazy guy. He was a Trump supporter too, and whatever else. It's all conservative people killing each other. So we should take the guns away. Okay. Let me just say this too. Okay, liberal left. And anybody out there that's anti-gun, let me just explain how the thing works. If you create more crime, if there's more crime, we'll say it that way, because they wouldn't create crime, they wouldn't do that as false flag type of stuff, never. But, if there's more crime, that makes people more paranoid, and we think we need more guns, okay? So if you really want to take guns from the American people, the evil Christian white men, especially the WASPs out there, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, if you want to disarm us, then you have to make it a very peaceful, no crime, whatever. And then we'll say, I guess we don't need the guns anymore. So, stop reporting on any kind of shooting. Just make things really peaceful. Let people have their debts, paid off and true prosperity comes and everything's just happy. And then, crazy people like me would say, okay, I guess we don't need guns anymore. Yeah, right. But, you see what I'm saying? A little sarcastic thing there. But right-wing people, stop de-escalating, okay? The guy with the knife that's crazy in the head, he's coming at us. There's never going to be a point in time the guy on drugs or, some kind of PCP or angel dust or whatever the other stuff is, crazy stuff that just messes people's head up and they're going around, running around naked with a knife, stabbing people and whatever. And the police officer gets there and he's coming at the officer like this. And the officer says, come on, put the knife down. Come on, buddy. Hey, I don't want to have to shoot you. Put the knife down. Put it down. Put it down. And you have to take that situation seriously and say, there's not going to be a point in time where the guy's all of a sudden just going to, wait, we're all Americans here. We need to get along. It's not going to happen. The guy's crazy. He's lost his mind. All right? If people can't figure out if they're male or female, and if people think, all the other things that the liberal left is into, they've lost their minds. And it's not about, as they say, dehumanizing the enemy. No, they've done that themselves. When you're going around saying I'm a non-binary space alien or something like this, there's not going to be a whole lot of stuff we can just agree to disagree, and there's no place for you in a good society. All right, you are a danger to yourself and others. And they want to try to pass hate crime legislation now. And of course, that'll only be one side of it. You can't use hate crime legislation against people that are attacking Bible-believing Christians, even though I'm a very small minority, Bible-believing Christian preacher. Well, then hate crimes legislation should protect me, right? Oh, no, because I'm a white man again. So I don't know who all is going to see this, but I want to spread this truth around. There's no magic pink rainbow unicorn dragon that's going to come along someday and land and everybody just goes, oh, we all love the pink unicorn rainbow dragon and we're just going to all get along now or something. It's magic dust. He sprinkled magic dust and we all love one another again or something. I mean, little sarcasm there. Maybe I got some of your hopes up out there for the pink unicorn rainbow dragon to come, but there's not coming a time when we're just going to get along. You understand? All right? What's it going to take? I realize, that a lot of the right-wing conservative guys are so badly in debt and whatever that they have no ability to go out and actually fight something, and because I have to get to work to pay my debts down. Well, that's why I've advocated being out of debt. But just wanted to say about this thing here, show something else which irritates me. I have a big E450 ambulance, if you're new to the channel here, and I use it for doing work and whatever else. Big fire rescue truck. It's a 1999 Ford E450, 7.3 Cummins turbo diesel. And front tire, I noticed the other day, the front driver's side tire, I could see the steel belts coming through the tire, and I thought, probably should replace that, on the inside it was really worn bad. So I had to take the wheel off, and I'm old school. I like to do things by hand, and so all through my life, I'm 50 years old now. So since the time even before I was 16, I was helping people change tires, and I know how to put tires on. I know how to you use a star wrench or the lug wrench or whatever, and you get it tight, and you do the crisscross pattern thing as you're going. You don't just tighten around in a circle. You do the crisscross thing. And you tighten them, you get each one tight, and then you give it a final each one, as you're going around. And that's good. And if you have a steel tire, you drive 50 or so miles, and then you make sure that the lug nuts are tight again, and you're fine. Okay, by hand. Well, now everybody has to have these impact drivers, and they're putting these things on so hard. So whatever the goober was that put my front wheel on the last time, I don't even know who it was. I've been to different garages, inspection and things I couldn't fix, and they would fix it for me. But somebody put my front tire on, their front wheel on, and they must have just used a jackhammer or something to put the thing on. And I mean, I was trying to take the tire off, and I was rocking the whole ambulance back and forth. I mean, a 10,000-pound vehicle, and I'm just trying to get the thing off. And I'll show you what I did. There's an old star wrench here, a little bent now. Yeah, bent the thing, all right? Couldn't move it, so I thought, well, I'll put a pipe on one of the ends to, give it a little bit more leverage. Ended up bending the thing. Literally starting to twist the steel. Just crazy. And so I thought, well, okay, they're really locked on there. Knock something over. They're really locked on there, so I'll have to use a breaker bar. That's when you get really desperate, you have to use the breaker bar. And so I put my breaker bar on it, and it truly became a breaker bar. Let me do it this way. I can't really do that all that efficiently. But there's that, and here's the end of it. Snapped it right off. A breaker bar. Now, it's made in China. I got it at some auto parts place or whatever else, because I needed something for my work truck that I could haul around with me if I had to loosen a couple bolts and things because it's, it's a big vehicle and things. But yeah, I mean, I've used a breaker bar, lots of times over the years, never broke one, but snapped the end of the thing. Unreal. And so finally had to go to the local hardware store and spend an insane amount of money, and I had to get an impact driver just to get the stupid lug nuts off. So a job that should have taken me maybe a half hour, take the tire off about 10 minutes or so, go to the tire replacement place, get them to put a new tire on it, bring it back, put it on 10 minutes. That job should have taken me, maybe a half hour, a little bit longer. It took me all day having to, working and trying to get the thing, just about had a, blowing my back out trying to get the stupid lug nuts off the thing. And okay, what's my point? Why bring up the story about that? Other than just the typical things you go through. But we need to have American manufacturing where stuff like that just doesn't fly. I mean, breaking a breaker bar. And I'd like to see, people do things the right way. And, actually put lug nuts on and not, put them on with some kind of high torque thing. And when I put the lug nuts back on again onto the ambulance, I tightened them just a little bit, got them snugged up, and then I actually finished with a wrench, the star wrench. I have another one that I didn't, completely destroy like that other thing. But so that's going to be it for the video, little rant video here. Let's stop this stuff, okay? And I'll give you a couple quick solutions to fight the liberal left agenda. Number one, eliminate politically correct speech out of your language, okay? You don't need to use profanity. Be more creative than that. Don't resort to the lowest level of the English language. Learn to speak properly. Back when I was a boy, you didn't hear profanity out in public. Okay, people were more proper than that. And if somebody did, they'd say, oh, excuse me, or excuse my French, or whatever they would say. Don't really know where that whole thing came from, but get your life cleaned up. I mean, ultimately, you need to be saved. You need to get a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, not go to church. I didn't say that. I said get a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. If you're truly saved, then you're in church all the time. I'm in church right now because the church is a called out assembly. That is the body of Christ. So understand that. But apart from that, I realize most people won't get saved, but they're looking for some way to fix the nation. All right? Have we seen enough of the government to not trust the government right now? I mean, Donald Trump has betrayed the people that voted for him in a major way. Oh, I'm going to end the war in Ukraine in day one, 24 hours, it's going to be over. Yeah, that didn't happen. The Epstein files and whatever. Oh, yeah, I can't release those because he's on them. Just completely given into Israel's agenda and whatever else, which has nothing to do with supporting the nation of Israel and the Jewish people. It's everything to do with a globalist move to build a Jewish utopia. That's what it's about, which is what Jesus Christ prophesied, which is one of the reasons that they killed him. And yes, they did kill him. Pilate would have let Jesus go, but they pushed him and said, if you don't crucify him, then you're not Caesar's friend. In other words, we're going to go over top of you. And that's what the New Testament teaches, that they killed the Lord Jesus. The New Testament does not teach that the Jews are no more and whatever else, but the book of Revelation is going to be for the correction of the nation of Israel. The Jews require a sign. That's why signs and wonders of the book of Revelation are coming to the Jewish people. Again, I have major studies on that. Can't get into it right now. But become independent. Declare your independence from the government. No more politically correct speech. I'm afraid I'll offend the wrong person. Offend. Be very offensive with your speech. Start to find ways to not just declare your independence politically, but also very much spiritually declare your independence. And also, we need to have, be able to take care of your family, be able to get food, be more creative, grow your own food, raise your own food, things like that. Find farms in your local area, ways that the liberal left cannot mess with you, cannot control you. And if there's any kind of talk of hate crime legislation, which is always just one-sided, like I said earlier, then you need to fight against it. Just say, no, that's not legal. And armed to the teeth. That's also very important. Become very vigilant, hyper vigilant. I heard a guy say the one time here recently that if you go out into a city type of an area, look up at the top of the buildings. Don't just have situational awareness this way. Keep your head on a swivel, as they say. Look up now too, because there's been a lot of sniper type of stuff coming from up top of buildings. And look up, and if you see something, hey, everybody look up there. What's that guy doing up there? You know, get a camera out. Look, what's going on up there? All right. So just some suggestions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Need to get to work now. I have a few other videos I need to do, but there's a bunch of stuff. I'll be going away today and hauling some things in my truck. So that's going to be it. Let me know what you thought. Give me your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't wait for the pink rainbow dragon unicorn either, okay? Because he's not coming.